Our Albertsons shoppers donate to Goodwill because it's convenient and they always get a receipt.
I donate to Goodwill because Goodwill keeps things like computers out of our landfills.
I donate to Goodwill because Goodwill turns gently used goods into jobs for people in our community.
I donate to Goodwill because when I give, Southern Nevada benefits.
Donate.
Donate.
It's easy to donate.
Shop and donate today. Pahrumps Goodwill is located in the former Ace Hardware building.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Tonight on News 46, one person is transported to the hospital after an accident.
A ribbon cutting is held at the museum.
And a candidate for governor speaks at the Pahrump Senior Center. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Rhonda Van Winkle and Jason Koblenz. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Hello, everyone. It's Monday, the 24th, 2014. I'm Rhonda Van Winkle.
And I'm Jason Koblenz for News 46.
One person was transported by ambulance at Desert View Hospital yesterday afternoon as a result of a 3-vehicle accident on Highway 160 and Mesquite Avenue.
Tonight's accident report is brought to you by Stovall & Associates. Don't expect insurance companies to have your best interest in mind. Stovall & Associates cares. Let us help you if you have been involved in an accident.
We're at the intersection of State Route 160 and Bella Vista. Apparently what happened was there was a white SUV that was northbound attempting to turn left onto Bella Vista. Did not yield to a Saturn that was going northbound. The Saturn hit the SUV in the side and on the passenger side door, and then the SUV spun around and hit a second truck that was stopped at the stop sign waiting to come out.
How many people were injured?
We have a total of 5 people without all the vehicles. 3 of them are injured, but only one of them is transported, and I'm being informed by medical that it's nothing serious at this time.
And then as far as the road closure, we're going to be closed for a little while you guys are conducting this investigation?
Yeah, as soon as my partner, Trooper Miller, gets here, which will be here anytime, we'll get the vehicles out of the roadway, probably down for 30, 45 minutes at the most.
There was a person entrapped in one of the vehicles, right?
Yes, however, I don't know any information about that. They had the person out of the vehicle before I arrived on scene.
And there'll be a citation?
Yes, there will be a citation for failing to yield.
A slow-moving brush fire occurred this morning on the south end of Homestead Road. Valley Electric Association crews were called to the scene for a couple of power poles that were involved in the fire. Firefighters arrived on scene and were able to extinguish the 3-acre blaze without incident.
And Congressman Stephen Horsford visited Pahrump last week. He discussed several topics, including Social Security and Medicare.
I believe that we should not be balancing the budget on the backs of our seniors, and I will always fight to protect and strengthen these types of investments that you have paid into. Many seniors invested your entire lives into Medicare and Social Security, and it needs to be there for you when you need it and for the next generation. I also want to let everyone know that my staff is here to help you with any needs that you have. If you are having trouble getting your Social Security benefits, need help with the Veterans Administration, the IRS, or any federal agency, you should reach out to us. And I know we've heard from constituents on certain issues. Now, I'm not saying that we can always get the federal agency to do exactly what you want, but we will definitely work to make sure that one, you get a response from that agency, and two, if they're not listening to your side, that we're doing everything that we can to get them to understand what it is you need them to do. In the first year, my staff, which I have a phenomenal, dedicated staff, but in just the first year as your representative, as a freshman getting started, we were able to return $1.5 million in services and savings to the constituents of Nevada's 4th Congressional District. Thank you.
And he spent about 2 hours with us there at the Bob Roode Community Center, and a lot of people had their questions answered, so thank you to him. And to view the entire interview, you're going to go to KPVM TV's YouTube page.
The Cannabis Training Institute has announced the hiring of 3 individuals as CTI's new national training professionals and sales staff. After completing a comprehensive program of online courses and presentations by CTI and Americans for Safe Access, the 3 new employees are currently training cannabis industry leaders in Nevada, Arizona, and the state of Washington, respectively.
Well, after the break, Marty Salt will discuss cardiac arrest in student athletes.
Some young athletes are playing with a ticking time bomb in their chest.
We see it happen an upsettingly frequent amount of time.
What you need to know before your child takes the field. Next on Prescription Health.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Albertsons. You're in for something fresh.
Welcome back to News 46. If your child plays sports, chances are you've worried about concussions. But did you know the #1 killer of young athletes is sudden cardiac arrest? As Marty Salt explains, these events are often detectable and treatable.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
17-year-old Carly St. George has played sports for most of her young life.
I played soccer, but I played gymnastics 2 years ago, played basketball, pretty much done it all.
So when Carly took a sports participation screening, she was shocked at the results.
It's a hole in my heart between my right and left atrium.
Carly had surgery to fix her heart defect, but the problem could have been deadly. A young athlete dies from a cardiac incident once every 3 days in the U.S. In contrast, concussions cause just 1.5 deaths per year. Dr. Hank Pelto says the heart events are usually brought on by a pre-existing detectable condition.
In young folks, these tend to be congenital heart problems, either of the plumbing of the heart or the walls of the heart or the electrical signals of the heart.
Most schools in the U.S. require a standard sports exam that includes listening to the heart, checking blood pressure, and reviewing family history. But many doctors believe adding an EKG could detect about 2/3 of the deadly heart problems that are aggravated by exercise.
A heart screening is a critical part of any pre-participation exam.
Tori Sorensen had an undetected heart defect. She went into cardiac arrest while playing college intramural basketball.
They had to shock me 4 times before they could get my heart going again.
Today, she works with a nonprofit group that offers free heart screenings at high schools.
We find somebody at each screening who has a cardiac problem.
She wants every athlete to be screened so hearts and lives can be saved. I'm Marty Salt reporting.
In other countries, most notably Italy, young athletes are required to have EKGs to play sports. Adopting the practice in the U.S. could cost between $25 to $150 per test, which may not be covered by insurance. Dr. Pelto says most of the time you can request the test if you are not offered it.
Arizona's legislature has passed a controversial bill that would allow business owners, as long as they assert their religious beliefs, to deny service to gay and lesbian customers. The bill, which The State House of Representatives passed by a 33 to 27 vote Thursday now goes to Governor Jan Brewer, a Republican and one-time small business owner who vetoed similar legislation last year, but has expressed the right of business owners to deny service.
And Democratic gubernatorial candidate Chris Hypock spent last Thursday afternoon speaking to an audience at the Pahrump Senior Center about his campaign against Republican incumbent Brian Sandoval.
I started campaigning 4 or 5 months ago for the Democrat ticket. I'm a dark horse of the bunch. I jumped in because I feel we deserve better than what we've been handed over the years. Looking at the years of bad management of this state, you look at we're the top of every bad category, bottom of every good category. That didn't happen overnight. That's years of bad management. We're not getting businesses here because of that. And I feel like it's time for a common sense guy to come in that can relate to everybody, to come in and put politics aside and do what they get elected to do.
You spoke at the Pahrump Senior Center today. What were some of the concerns or questions that you got from the crowd?
A lot of them are about jobs. You know, they want to see more jobs, more labor competitiveness here in Nevada. They would like to see more sidewalks, you know, in this state. Transportation's a big thing. They would like to have more of a bus system here in Nevada or Nye County because, you know, it's a senior home, it's a veteran home, and they could travel a lot better. I know they have a taxi business now, but, you know, I think a bus system would be great, and that's something we can look into. A VA clinic, an updated VA clinic, something that's well needed, and I know it's been talked about, but it's like one of those things, the check's in the mail, but it never gets there. So I think it's time to be committed to help improve these small towns like Nevada or Pahrump.
Tell me a little bit about yourself personally.
I'm 35 years old. Bill Clinton was 32 when he was governor. I'm 35 years old. I have a 4-year degree in journalism communications. I wanted to write about politics, but I figured I'd fix it first. Have a 4-year small business background. I had a janitorial cleaning service, 14 years in casino management, and that's pretty much what I have as far as management material. Never ran for office before, but I've heard it said hundreds of times. We've had lawyers as governors, we've had people with experience as governors, but we get the same production. We're in the bottom of every good category, and I think it's time for someone with common sense, someone that committed to do the job they get elected to do, and I think that person's me.
So where are you from, Las Vegas?
No, I moved here 14 years ago from Texas. Moved out here for acting and modeling. Met a girl, kind of lost track of what I came out here for, but it worked out because we're still together today. We're married, 2 beautiful children, Kaylin and Alyssa. My wife's name's Becky, and we've been together 14 years, but married 9. And yeah.
If you are elected to office, you spoke about some of the things that you're unhappy with. What's kind of the first things that you would really like to be put in the priority?
Okay. For one, we have to clean up the mess, and one is we're graded D when it comes to spending transparency. We're D- for an integrity state when it comes to lobbying disclosures, when it comes to campaigning contribution disclosures, checks and balances. It's almost like if you clean an attic, you clean the cobwebs out first before you can put the furniture in, and I feel like I have to do that. $1 billion has been taken out of our education system, so that's something that I'm going to be more committed on, is to bring better education here. Common Core has to go. I'm not for that. Not every county is the same as each other. Nevada's not the same as New York. We need to find our own curriculum here in Nevada, allow the teachers to have a voice again, and quit blaming the teachers because it's the top that has not been committed to improving the education, and also to have more of a marketable government for businesses to want to relocate here.
Here's Kay with this week's Jackson Hewitt Tax Tip.
Tax Tip of the Week is brought to you by Jackson Hewitt Tax Services.
Good morning and welcome back to this year's Jackson Hewitt Tax Tips. The first thing I want to talk about with you today is make sure you have everything together to do your taxes. Don't ever think, well, this doesn't amount to much. I don't need to report this or that. Remember that everything that has been supplied to you has been supplied to the IRS. So if you haven't included it in your income tax, in about 18 months you may be getting a little letter from the IRS, which could end up being more trouble than it's worth. So just remember remember, make sure you have all your documents ready. Anything that you have a question about, you can always go to irs.gov on the internet, or you can call the Internal Revenue Service. They're ready there to help you, and make sure you have everything you need to complete a good tax return. We know that nobody likes to do their taxes, but doing it right the first time will make all the difference. Thanks, and we'll see you next time on Jackson Hewitt's Tax Tips.
Tax Tip of the Week is brought to you by Jackson Hewitt Tax Services.
And we'll have more news for you right after this break. Please keep it here.